Alright guys, so what's next on this hood? I've got it washed. It's all sanded and then washed. So we should be good to go on that front. I am going to start masking it, and it's raining, so today's not a good day for paint, but I do want to at least hit some of these spots where I did go through and it is bare metal. So I do want to hit those. I'll hit those with some primer, just in these little spots. Here, spot here. We'll just kind of touch most of these spots and see how it turns out. If I need to then sand my primer down, I can do that, not a big deal. I just want to cover all our bare metal because I'm afraid that my color won't stick. I can't really go straight over the metal. So we're going to do that. Like I said, today's not a good day for painting anyway, so we'll probably do that later in the week. I just want to make sure that when we do get good weather to paint, we are ready. So let's get to masking, and then we'll throw a little bit of primer. Mask up. So we should be good to go. I don't think I should need any more than that. We aren't getting too crazy with the painting, so let's throw a little bit of primer on it. We should be good in here. So yeah, let's throw a little bit of primer in some of these spots, and we will see how it goes. So I did forget to press the start button, but I did, as you can see, use some wax and grease remover. Right here, wax remover. So I did use it, so I'm just waiting for it to dry. Trying to see what I've got for primer left over. I don't need a lot. It's just a couple small areas. We'll get a nice even coat on that. And yeah, if we have to sand it down a little bit, we have to, but for as thin as I think I'm going to put it on there, I don't think it's really going to make a difference. So we'll wait for this to dry up, and then we'll give the primer a little bit of spray, and then yeah, I think that's as far as we can go today. We'll let that primer dry, and then when we get a chance, we can give this thing a nice spray. So we threw some primer on all the spots that were bare metal. I think that should do fine. It was a filler primer, so there were some spots that didn't need it that I threw it in anyway, and hopefully that will hide some of those bigger rock chips and stone chips and whatnot. So I think that'll do. We're gonna let that dry, open the garage door. It is raining still, so if it rains too hard I have to close the door again, but I open it up, get a little ventilation in here. I am really looking forward to spraying the color that we've got over here that we ordered from Automotive Touch Up. The last paint that I got was actually really good. As you can see, Volkswagen base coat. It actually matched really well. It was a little bit newer car, so we'll see how it matches with the faded paint, but yeah, I guess we'll see. I'm gonna do a test card here, like this thing. They send you this for just to kind of test your paint, and I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't want to use too much though, because I did only order 1 can, so I think that should be enough to do maybe 2 coats on the hood. So I think that should be enough. I'm hoping that it is. If it's not, then that really stinks, but it is what it is. If it doesn't, the first one I'll have to do a pretty light coat and see how much I got left, and then hopefully the second coat we can use what's left in the can and get a nice thick even coat on it. Yeah, so we're getting there. All that's left, we're gonna wax and grease remove one more time. When all this is dry and we're ready to paint, then we'll paint. We'll throw a layer of base on it, and then we'll tack cloth it, throw another layer of base, and let it dry up. Tack it again, and then we will be clearing it with this stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. I've never used this type of clear, so I guess we'll find out. I'm not really too experienced with painting, but I learn best by trial and error. So if it costs me a little bit extra, it costs me a little bit extra, but it will save me money next time. So I'm okay with that. I've always wanted to learn how to paint. The hardest part for me was learning the patience to prep for paint. But we're getting there, one step at a time. We'll see how this turns out, and then we'll go from there. Everything, because I don't want this video to be stupid long, but off camera I shot a little bit of primer in all the spots there was bare metal, and I also sanded this down, and I've just waxed and grease removed it. I was going to try to paint, but then I decided I would go ahead and try a couple coats on here. We're already 2 coats in, so and I wanted to see just how closely it matched. So as long as we get a solid, I mean, I think that's going to match pretty dang close. Like, that's a bad comparison because that's the sanded hood. But in here, I think that's going to be a pretty darn close comparison right there. I think it's going to be pretty close. So, like I said, let's see how that comes out on camera. That's not too bad. And like I said, I could use, this little thing could probably use another coat because it was black and we're going to be painting onto a red surface already, so we won't have to do as much covering up. So hopefully that turns out all right, and 1 can is enough. So I'm thinking do an initial run where I go over all the primered places, let that kind of settle, do a nice light coat, and then from there we'll do 1 good coat, and then if I have more, we'll hopefully have enough for another coat, and then from there we can finish the clear. So I'll tape, like I said, I'll tape that process and you'll see that, but just didn't want to throw every little last detail in there. Just wanted to talk about it, let you guys know what I've done. So hopefully it turns out all right. I'm really excited to kind of figure out this whole painting thing and be able to do this kind of stuff on my own. It's taken a lot longer than I would have hoped, but I've been waiting for paint and had some other stuff going on, so it's been probably a week since I started this video, but that's alright. We should have this wrapped up in the next day or two, pending the weather. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so maybe Wednesday, definitely Thursday. That was looking beautiful, and I have the day off. Today is Monday. So hopefully we can get that straightened out, and ideally by this weekend we will have the front end of this all buttoned up and put back together and completely done. And now literally the only thing that we're missing is still the door panel inside over there. I'm looking for one. I found one, didn't get a response. I'm going to try again tomorrow to see if I can get a response and get that over here. So this is done and hopefully going to be put up for sale this weekend would be perfect. So I'm already looking for something new for me, because this is it. This is the last project that I have here for flip. And we of course still need to take it for a little test drive to make sure that everything is good, doesn't need an alignment, and yada yada. So next will be painting. Alright guys, so what I did, like I said, I just sprayed all the areas that were not already red, just so we can get a more uniform kind of starting point. As you can see, some of these spots are already starting to show through. So, but that's okay. We just wanted to get the majority of it, because as you can see, if we don't start with the same thing, we'll end up with 2 different colors, as you can see there. So that's one kind of partial coat to get us started. We'll wait a couple minutes and then we'll get going. Alright guys, there's coat number 1, full coat number 1. We already started our timer. Look at our spots are almost gone. You can just see them there. I think one more coat and that'll be pretty well done. We want to make sure we got a nice even coat, and we got plenty of spray paint left. Let's get to coat number 2. Alright guys, we got our second coat on there. Just coming out good. We got lots of paint left in the can still, so we may do 3 or 4 coats. We're going to do a 3rd coat and see what it looks like. And then I'm going to kind of show you how to use this stuff. It's got kind of specific directions because it is a 2K clear. It's got kind of a, you don't just shake it, you gotta take a button off, and I'll show you how to use that, and then we will do a couple layers of clear on it, and then we should be good to go. So let's get to this 3rd coat. Alright guys, next is our clear coat. It is a 2-stage clear coat. So you basically, all that means is you're gonna, this red cap, this is what I'm gonna show you, is just adding hardener to the clear, so that when you spray it, it hardens onto the car. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to use this stuff, and then I'm going to tack cloth, it's upside down, but I'm going to tack cloth the hood nice and good before I shoot the clear. So I'm just going to go through the directions real quick. So basically all we're going to do is we're going to take our clear coat here and we're going to shake it for a few minutes, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pop this little top off of here, put it on the bottom, activate it, and then shake it for a few more minutes, and then you'll be good to spray. So I'm just going to shake it, and then I'm going to follow those directions. I'll show you step by step, and then we'll get to spraying some clear. Alright, so now that it's all shaken up, we're going to take our little red cap, we're going to put it in the bottom, and all I'm going to do is press it against bench here, just like that. It's all seated, just like that. And then I'm just going to take this cap, I just put the cover right back in the top, or the red piece back in the top, and then we're going to shake it for a few more minutes, tack cloth the hood, and then we're going to get to painting. So my first coat of clear is done. We got a little bit of shine. It's just a light coat, so it is a little streaky and whatnot. But we'll wait another 5 minutes, and then we will move on to coat number 2. So, I guess let's move on to coat number 2. Alright guys, we're getting there. One more coat and I think we're going to be right where we want to be. I went a little heavier on the coat this time and I think it turned out much better. So we're going to do one more in 5 minutes. See how it turns out. I did go with the mask because it is starting to get a little, let's call it fumey in here. But with that being said, let me get this timer started, and then we'll do 5 more minutes. We'll do another coat in 5 minutes, and then that'll be it. We'll call that a night. We'll leave the garage door open for a little bit, let it air out a little bit. But I think that we're going to end up with a pretty decent paint job. There's going to be a little bit of trash in it. It is done in my garage. I didn't wet the floor or anything like that. It's definitely going to be done. Definitely was done on a budget. I just wanted to get the hood pretty close to the body. I think that looks pretty darn good. Pretty darn close for doing it in your garage. So I'm pretty happy with it so far. Let's get one more coat on it and see how it ends up. Alright guys, she is 100% done. That is 3 coats of clear and 2 and a partial coat of base coat. I think it turned out pretty darn good. I will show you guys the final bit of this episode, this upload will be going over in the daylight. It's not perfect, I'll be the first one to say. I could have spent a lot more time making it look a lot better, but it's a cheap car. I just wanted that ugly peeling clear coat gone. So alright guys, I do want to mention, and you might be able to see it in the time lapse, but the one negative so far that I've found with doing this is if you don't hold your can just right, it kind of fizzles out at some points when you start to get low in the can. And that happened to me on both the base coat and the clear coat. So that's really my only complaint that I have with this. We'll see tomorrow how it turns out. But all in all, I think it looks pretty darn good. And it may come down to I just need to take the time and sand one grit or another level higher grit to get that even nicer finish. But either way, it turned out perfect for this vehicle. Doesn't have to be perfect, that's why it is perfect. It's done.